Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy, but with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support. All My Relations Arts presents Matrilineal Memory by hobby artist Michaela Schaefer. This powerful exhibition blends painting, poetry, and installations, inviting reflections on memory, culture, and healing. Join us for the opening reception Thursday, October 16th, 6 to 8 p.m. at All My Relations Arts on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis. Matrilineal Memory runs October 16th through December 13th. Experience the unveiling of an exhibition that speaks to the heart. Learn more at allmyrelationsarts.org.
The Minneapolis Police Department is hiring, and we're looking for people ready to lead, serve, and reflect the communities we protect.
Whether you're a new graduate, changing careers, or already in law enforcement, there's a path for you to join our department.
With top-tier pay, full benefits, paid training, and a direct path to making a difference, this is more than a job. This is your chance to shape the future of Minneapolis Police.
Choose service. Choose leadership. Choose Minneapolis. Visit our city website to learn more.
Are you a Metro Transit rider? Join the Free Riders Club and let your voice be heard. Our motto is Transit Voices United, and when you become a member, you'll participate more closely in decision-making, plus earn the opportunity for exclusive merchandise at Metro Transit events. Help improve your transit system. We value your opinion. Join at metrotransit.org/Riders Club and start being rewarded today. That's the Riders Club at metrotransit.org/Riders Club. We've all seen the effects of wood smoke pollution this year, so before hosting that backyard bonfire, follow these simple tips to protect yourself, others, and the environment. Remember to give your neighbors a heads up before building a fire so those who find wood smoke bothersome can close their windows. Make sure to never burn wet or recently cut wood, other yard waste, plastic, or garbage. These things can be toxic when burned and create excess smoke. For more tips on how to burn responsibly, visit epa.gov/burnwise. With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, cloudy with a low of 38, then Thursday, cloudy with a high of 51. Nightingale is your cozy, comfortable neighborhood bar and restaurant at 26th and Lindale in Minneapolis. Come in for the famous Nightingale burger or the ginger tamari chicken wings. View their menu or place a takeout order at nightingalempls.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut. Hit me cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Kadagi to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events, and as you know, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. Hey, really excited tonight. As always, we've been landing on Wednesday with our friend Arvina Martin, and she's Emerge Wisconsin's executive director. And Arvina is the first Native person ever elected to Madison, Wisconsin's Common Council, and was elected vice president in 2020 by her peers. And she's an enrolled member of Ho-Chunk and also Stockbridge-Munsee. She'll be on in just a few minutes. I just wanted to touch base with everybody and talk a little bit about what's going on here. On the 1st, we have the gathering of our children on the returning adoptee powwow at 1530 East Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis, and we're really surprised and really happy, and not surprised, but really happy to have this go on. And this is the 19th annual, so next year is going to be a big 20. And I know I have seen people from all over the country come here and work on their healing, and so that's awesome. And I'll be there all day. powwow, and grand entries at 4, and then there's or grand entries at 1 and 7, and there's uh, special ceremony at 4 o'clock. And I just wanted to let everybody know that. And also, on November 2nd at 7 p.m. at the Astor House, we're going to celebrate music legend Paul Mesta's 70th birthday, and it's a benefit concert for AM 950. So I'll be there for that too, and that's really, really exciting. And then one more thing I want to bring up too, well, a couple more things is we have that big film festival happening at the Minneapolis Institute of Art. I just want to remind everyone that that's free. And we're going to have Rihanna Yazzi's Winter's Love on the 6th, and that is at 6 p.m. And on the 23rd at 2 p.m., we will have Ajawak's Indian Horse, and he'll be there and doing Q&A, and I'll be emceeing that. And Smoke Signals on the 29th at 2 p.m., and that's also at the Minneapolis Institute of Art. It's celebrating Native American Heritage Month here in Minnesota. And there's a surprise that's going to happen on Smoke Signals, and I will be telling you that as time goes on here. But that's a few things that are going on. And I just wanted to mention one other thing, too, before I get Arvina on. And I really appreciate people supporting our sponsors and saying hi when Wendy and I are running around and seeing you in the community. And also our Patreon. It really helps out with everything here. And it's just a big peeny geeky. And so let's bring Arvina Martin on. Arvina, welcome. I just read your bio too. It's always impressive, and I really, really appreciate you coming in, stopping in, and talking things over with us in our community here on AM 950, and also civic media all across Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. As always, it's always nice to sit and talk and go over things that are affecting all of us across the country and in Indian country, in Minnesota and Wisconsin in particular, and talking about what we can do to be proactive and talk about things that we can do to help during these very trying times.
Well, I know there's a thing coming up here, and Minnesota governor has really stepped up in more of a ceremonial thing where they've put $4 million into SNAP program here in Minnesota. But, as the governor's calling out the feds, is that there's mechanisms out there that they can do to help our relatives that count on this and need this. And so many people that we know and we're friends with, and that were on SNAP at one time, and that really helped them. And so this is just, Republicans hating on poor people.
Absolutely. And I'm someone who has been on food assistance, and it helped me during a difficult time, making sure that I was able to provide the nutrition that particularly my then small daughter needed. And that again, this is such a basic need. There's nothing like luxury or like, this is people's basic needs, and needing calories to be able to function, in your body, and to be able to go to work, to take care of your kids, to make sure your kids, have all of the vitamins and minerals and the nutrients that they need so that they can go to school and learn. And again, this is like probably the most basic need, and it's being neglected. And you kind of mentioned this. The thing that is particularly maddening about this is that there's a contingency fee, or not fee, a contingency fund that was created specifically so that SNAP benefits would not be affected during a government shutdown. So there is a mechanism in place to fix this, and the Trump administration won't. They won't. It is a decision of this administration not to let this money go to help people eat. And like and perhaps you can tell in my voice, but like I'm very angry about this. And it makes it hard to talk about some of these issues and be able to talk about it in a way that remains constructive and remains polite, or like it doesn't get down and dirty, because this is happening right now, and it's absolutely preventable. And not only is the administration not releasing these funds, which they have and are supposed to be for this exact situation, they're blaming the Democrats for it. The Democrats who have no like majority in the House, in the Senate, we're not in the White House. The judiciary is not held by progressives. And to blame it on Democrats is absolutely, I mean, first of all, it's absurd, but it's also, passing the buck from something that they could easily do without intervention from Congress. Like it just Donald Trump could say today, yes, release those funds, and it would happen.
Well, I want to mention a name to you too. We got a minute and a half left in this segment, and I'll let you go on this. Is like Mike Johnson's been all around on all these TV shows, and I see little clips of him. And I don't know if you say something. I think this administration and the Republicans nowadays, the new Republicans, the MAGA Republicans, lie enough where they believe their own lies. It's amazing.
Absolutely. And I think that it's not comforting at this point, but I do think history will judge. And in this situation, they're not going to come out looking great. So, this is going to be a time, like I mentioned last week, we have to help take care of each other. And if you have means and are able to contribute to local food pantries, other organizations that help get food into the bellies of people who need it, give them money. If maybe you live in an urban area and people are being very generous, and there are people in other communities whose food banks are not as well contributed to, contribute there.
Hey, we got to take a quick break, but I'm corrected here in a good way. Governor Walz gave $4 million to the food shelves, not actually to SNAP. Big peeny gee for that correction. We'll be right back. This is Native Roots Radio. Ho-wah. Across Native communities, tradition and connection guide every step. Make voting a tradition, or MVAT, celebrates that spirit, helping generations come together to shape the future of Native communities. MVAT has empowered Native American communities by bringing friends and families together to talk about important issues and sharing helpful information about how and where to vote. By learning from each other and leaning on trusted relationships, MVAT helps Native communities feel confident in voting and making their choices heard. Voting is more than a right. It's a way to protect the needs of your community and have a say in the future. MVAT has been helping Native communities across the state for 9 years, creating stronger, more engaged communities every election. Vote together, stand together. Explore a fact sheet that explains some of the elected offices on the ballot and why they matter to you, your family, and your community at makevotingatradition.org. That's makevotingatradition.org.
The Minneapolis Police Department is hiring, and we're looking for people ready to lead, serve, and reflect the communities we protect.
Whether you're a new graduate, changing careers, or already in law enforcement, there's a path for you to join our department.
With top-tier pay, full benefits, paid training, and a direct path to making a difference, this is more than a job. This is your chance to shape the future of Minneapolis Police.
Choose service. Choose leadership. Choose Minneapolis. Visit our city website to learn more.
Are you a Metro Transit rider? Join the free Riders Club and let your voice be heard. Our motto is Transit Voices United, and when you become a member, you'll participate more closely in decision-making, plus earn the opportunity for exclusive merchandise at Metro Transit events. Help improve your transit system. We value your opinion. Join at metrotransit.org/Riders Club and start being rewarded today. That's the Riders Club at metrotransit.org/Riders Club.
Oh, this is Dallas Goldtooth, and you're listening to the Native Roots Radio. Hoka, hicha, wecha.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everybody. I am here with Arvina Martin, Executive Director of Emerge Wisconsin, and our friend across the river here, the St. Croix River here in the Twin Cities, but we don't hold that against you. We have so much to talk about, and hopefully after we talk about Emerge Wisconsin and updates on that we'll have a little time to talk about football, because that's all the time we have here because of what's going on with the Vikings.
Yeah. I mean, we had a good week, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like I keep on saying to you over the past few years, it's like I looked at a statistic here before we get into some more snap talk and some other things. I looked at a statistic since 1992. The Detroit Lions have had like 12 quarterbacks. The Vikings have had roughly around the same, maybe 14 starting quarterbacks, and Green Bay's had 3.
Yep.
That's consistency.
It's absolutely insane to me. And actually, Brett Favre took over when I was like in middle school or high school, and then retired for the first time when I was pregnant with my daughter, who is now 17. And I actually missed Aaron Rodgers' first game because I had to go to birthing class. And that's her entire lifetime before Jordan Love came in a couple of years ago. It's wild. And how blessed we have been as a Packers organization to have, first off, a Hall of Famer quarterback, but then to have another one immediately after.
Right.
Yeah. And people are talking about, the fact that Bart Starr and Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers all won Super Bowls when they were 27. And next week, I believe, but early November, Jordan Love turns 27. So we'll see if this pattern holds. Got my fingers crossed.
That's awesome. Well, I guess we don't have to talk the rest of the show about that. That's your report, and that's a really interesting too, because whenever I hear about the 27, that's like Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix and people like that.
That's for music in Hollywood. For football, for Green Bay Packers football, the 27 club is Super Bowl rings.
Hey, I have some bad news that just came up. It's breaking news. And line 5 permit was issued to Enbridge just now. And as you know, Arvina, we started Native Roots Radio because of Standing Rock and all the misinformation that was going on 9 years ago. And so we are water protectors to the max here on Native Roots Radio. And I just wanted to put that out there to the universe that, we're not happy, and we're going to be fighting that very soon here on Native Roots Radio and all our relatives around.
Yeah, I had not heard that, so I just, while you were talking, quick looked it up. And yeah, like this pipeline will go through the Kakagan Sloughs, which is the wetland area that feeds into Lake Superior, which is the largest source of drinking water, fresh water on the planet.
Yes.
And to mess with something, because it's not a matter of if a pipeline fails, It will fail at some point. And not only does it threaten that, the development will and the construction will certainly affect wild rice, production and growth, and therefore is going to have another negative effect on Native people, on our Ojibwe relatives who do have the rights guaranteed through their treaties to go and harvest wild rice. And so, you know, it's sad, and I mean it's very short-sighted, because what are we going to do when Lake Superior is no longer viable, and we can no longer use it?
Absolutely. And we know, like you said, pipelines leak. This is very disturbing to hear. This has been a long fight. We've had people on the show about Line 5 for at least 3 years, or at least since Line 3 ended up here, in a not a good way, because, as you know, Lake Itasca, right up there where the pipeline went through, is where the Mississippi starts. And, you know, if you've ever been to Lake Itasca, you can drink that water. And now you can't, you know, and this is 3 short years. And they're coming after the boundary waters next with mining too. So we need to impeach this president as soon as possible and get things righted here. But yeah, I'm going to have to get my American Indian Movement jean jacket out with "Water is Life" on there and start really raising heck again.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm again with my quick research to verify, the project would cross close to 200 waterways, and potentially, temporarily at least, at the very least, affect about 101 acres of these wetlands that exist in Ashland and Iron counties. And in order to do this, they are going to have to blast bedrock, and they're going to have to drill in these waterways, and it's going to have an even more direct impact on the Bad River Ojibwe, and is absolutely likely to violate their own water standards. And this is just, I mean, this is disastrous.
I'm glad you brought up Bad River, because they've been on the show, and there's a documentary out there about this whole mess happening. And you know, we're water protectors, and yeah, we're gonna stay tuned on this. But I appreciate you doing that quick research, and I also appreciate Patrick from the mothership AM 950 sending me this update that just happened.
Yeah, and Enbridge does not have a great record
No.
of the safety and the structure of the actual structures. They've on Line 3, they breached aquifers. And in 2010, there was a spill that released more than 1.2 million gallons of oil into the Kalamazoo River in Michigan. I mean, this is it's the potential for error. You know, there's a high likelihood of error, and this organization has proved itself to be susceptible to these errors.
Absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up. And I just feel like, you know, when they were here for Line 3, the big push was union jobs. Well, these union jobs came from all over the country. They didn't help the unions in, per se, Minnesota or northern Minnesota specifically. And the jobs that they did give to Native Americans and people that were up north for Line 3 were minimal, like, you know, holding stop signs and being contract workers and not having insurance and not being part of the union. And so they come in and want to fool you as a community that they're coming in and doing good things for the community. I was so sick in the last few years. There'd be high school hockey, which Minnesota's huge in, and our basketball tournament's huge, and see Enbridge advertising in these things, and people thinking that they're good, and they're not good people. They're a foreign country that's coming here and is messing with our resources, and for their gain. We're not going to see that oil. It's not helping us. It's just a pipeline that's going to leak right through our country.
And I, you know, I'm a union member, but not
Me
the same kind of union. But I appreciate that they are looking out for their members in terms of making sure that they have employment. Unfortunately, I think that these jobs also, end up being temporary because it doesn't take forever to build them, and it still leaves their workers in jeopardy in terms of how it does affect our water systems, and
The
it's
community is in jeopardy too because of the man camps, and here we go again. And these are the things that the drugs come in, sexual predators come in, and people that were up north were working for Enbridge and staying at unhoused shelters because they didn't want to pay for rent, and they were using the unsheltered places up there for free, so they didn't have to pay for rent. So this is just we're too used to this, Arvina, that we can talk about this for the rest of the show. But I want to really swing next segment and really talk something positive about not the Packers, but Emerge Wisconsin, and then maybe we can end up in the last segment and talk a little bit about the White House and what's happening there.
Yeah.
Great. Hey, I'm here with Arvina Martin. This is Native Roots Radio, and we'll be right back after the short break. Please stay with us. Ho!
Minnesotans age 65 plus might qualify for Health Partners Minnesota Senior Health Options. The easy all-in-one plan includes personal support, coverage for medical, prescription drugs, and dental, plus many extra benefits. Eligibility information is available at healthpartners.com/oneplan. Health Partners is a health plan that contracts with both Medicare and the Minnesota Medical Assistance Medicaid program to provide benefits of both programs to enrollees. Enrollment in Health Partners depends on contract renewal.
All My Relations Arts presents Matrilineal Memory by Hopi artist Michaela Schaefer. This powerful exhibition blends painting, poetry, and installations, inviting reflections on memory, culture, and healing. Join us for the opening reception Thursday, October 16th, 6 to 8 p.m. at All My Relations Arts on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis. Matrilineal Memory runs October 16th through December 13th. Experience the unveiling of an exhibition that speaks to the heart. Learn more at allmyrelationsarts.org.
The Minneapolis Police Department is hiring, and we're looking for people ready to lead, serve, and reflect the communities we protect.
Whether you're a new graduate, changing careers, or already in law enforcement, there's a path for you to join our department.
With top-tier pay, full benefits, paid training, and a direct path to making a difference, this is more than a job. This is your chance to shape the future of Minneapolis police.
Choose service. Choose leadership. Choose Minneapolis. Visit our city website to learn more.
We've all seen the effects of wood smoke pollution this year, so before hosting that backyard bonfire, follow these simple tips to protect yourself, others, and the environment. Remember to give your neighbors a heads up before building a fire so those who find wood smoke bothersome can close their windows. Make sure to never burn wet or recently cut wood, other yard waste, plastic, or garbage. These things can be toxic when burned and create excess smoke. For more tips on how to burn responsibly, visit epa.gov/burnwise. Are you a Metro Transit rider? Join the Free Riders Club and let your voice be heard. Our motto is Transit Voices United, and when you become a member, you'll participate more closely in decision-making, plus earn the opportunity for exclusive merchandise at Metro Transit events. Help improve your transit system. We value your opinion. Join at metrotransit.org/Riders Club and start being rewarded today. That's the Riders Club at metrotransit.org/Riders Club.
Across Native communities, tradition and connection guide every step. Make voting a tradition, or MVAT honors that spirit, helping generations come together to shape the future of Native communities. By learning from each other and sharing knowledge through trusted relationships, MVAT helps build trust and make sure Native voices are heard. Voting is more than a right. It's a way to protect the needs of your community and build the future you want. Vote together, stand together. Learn more at makevotingatradition.org.
Greg Bakken here. I've told you about the out-of-the-world roast beef sandwiches at Maverick's Real Roast Beef, but I haven't told you about their Philly steak sandwiches, turkey bacon avocado sandwich, BLT, crispy chicken, fish sandwiches, brisket, or pulled pork. Okay, You get the idea. They make a lot of delicious food to the same standard as their famous roast beef sandwiches, and now I'm starving. I'm going to go to Maverick's Real Roast Beef off Lexington and Roseville, and you need to go too. Check out their menu at mavericksbeef.com.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, cloudy with a low of 38, then Thursday, cloudy with a high of 51. Come celebrate Paul Metz's 70th birthday party as part of an AM 950 fundraiser this Sunday night at the Astor House in Minneapolis. Full bar and delicious menu available. That's 7 o'clock Sunday night at the Astor House in Minneapolis. Get your tickets at am950radio.com. ATNF AM 950 St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and I want to be your next United States Senator, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Hey, I want to introduce Arvina Martin of Merge, Wisconsin. Is Executive Director. Arvina is the first Native person ever elected to Madison, Wisconsin's Common Council, and was elected vice president in 2020 by her peers. Arvina is an enrolled member of Ho-Chunk Nation and Stockbridge-Munsee, which we don't like to talk about, but we do. It's written right here, so I have to read it. Ho!
Shout out to my Stockbridge fam. Yeah, I love you guys.
Right on, right on. Well, I just got to tell you this too. Adam Beach was in town like for just a couple hours at the Indian Center, Minneapolis Indian Center, and he's back flying home back to Canada. But he was here real quick, and people got to do selfies. So shout out to Adam Beach, and we have a surprise coming up for the 29th of showing smoke signals at the Minneapolis Institute of Art, and I'll be doing the MC in there, and I'll tell you off air who's coming on, Arvina, but I'm doing the secret the
tease.
The curiosity approach, I think they call it in but hey, well, let's talk. I want to swing by and talk about some positive things. We got an election here in Minnesota coming up next week, and I know we have great things with your organization. So let's talk about Emerge Wisconsin and an update on Emerge.
Yeah, we are still accepting applications for our class of 2026. We are, if you're not familiar with Emerge Wisconsin, we are an organization that trains Democratic women and non-binary folks who feel comfortable in female-centered spaces on how to run for office. We want to train people to, from the local level all the way up to, the top and get Emerge alums elected. We know that when women are elected to office, the laws that get passed do more to help families than when women are not involved in the process. And that's really important, especially in this time when we are seeing what happens when our social safety net is failing. So we want to make sure that we are electing more women to office. And I, very much want to see more Native women elected to office at every level on school boards, city councils, county boards, Congress, state legislators. That helps all of us. And so if you are thinking about a run for office, you should apply for our class of 2026. Robert, will drop you some of our links here that you can share because we want to make sure that this is that we are representative of the state, and that includes Native people. Too often we are not remembered when it comes to representation or things because we're a smaller group. That doesn't mean our voices are not important, and it doesn't mean that our experiences are not valid. And we absolutely need more Native people elected at every level of office. And I am happy to help anybody that's thinking about running. You can email me at Arvina, ARVINA, at emergewi.org. And if you're not in Wisconsin, I will be happy to point you in the right direction for where you live so you can get trained as well. We are also having our annual event, which we are calling A Seat at the Table, that is going to be happening next week in Madison on Thursday, November 6th. And I'm pretty excited about that as well, because we are going to be joined by both Democratic leaders of our state legislature, State Senator Diane Hesselbein, who is also an Emerge alum, and Representative Greta Neubauer. And we are going to be talking about, the things that have happened in the past year, the work that they've been doing in the legislature, as well as kind of a preview of 2026, because, Democrats, we are hoping to take the trifecta and take over majority in both houses of the legislature, as well as the governor's office. And that is what we are going to be working towards in 2026. So if you are interested and you're going to be in Madison, you should come join us next week on Thursday. And feel free to contribute to us. Help us do the work that we need to do, because we're an important part of this this kind of democratic infrastructure, and that we help identify candidates in places. We're helping to build the bench, and we are looking to do it in areas outside of Madison and Milwaukee as well, because we need to make sure that people are represented all across the state.
Yeah, things are primed to do that. If you're thinking about running, definitely get a hold of Emerge. And what's exciting too is the alumni that have come out of Emerge and Emerge Wisconsin. And I always want to bring up the fact that your last two election cycles were very, very awesome for Emerge alum.
Absolutely. In 2024, in both the spring and the fall elections, we had 41 of our alums run for office. 38 of them won, which is astounding, and about a rate of 92% for a win rate, which is absolutely unheard of. And it's not likely that we will have that high of a win rate, forever, because that's really high. But it is a testament to the work that we do. It's a testament to the training that we do, that candidates are prepared. And it's also a testament to the network that we've built, and that there are so many Emerge alumna across the state that are excited and willing to help out their Emerge family, whether it comes to knocking on doors, planning events, making phone calls, contributing money to, and doing things that are needed in order to run a successful campaign and to win your election.
Yeah, absolutely. And people that are watching, and we get quite a few people watching all over Turtle Island. We have put up the websites for Emerge. Emerge america.org/contribute is up now, and I just feel really excited to have you on and talk about this, because this is the things that we can do. And I believe that this next cycle is going to be very good for us, people that vote blue. And let's get some good people in there, and let's get the training in. And if you're thinking about it, get a hold of Emerge Wisconsin, and that's just awesome. Get trained and do the thing. And there's a lot of people, as Arvina, over the years that I've run across that really just did or wondered why somebody wasn't doing something, and then I realized I was somebody, and come from all walks of life, and have run.
Absolutely. And I think that we kind of sell ourselves short in terms of our abilities and our our qualifications. I think so many people think, well, you need to be an attorney, or you need to have gone to an Ivy League college, and you need to be independently wealthy. No, I mean, look at Alexandria Cortez,
Yes.
who was a bartender at that point, but she was also an organizer and got involved that way and made connections with people. And like and I've said this so many times, the more differences we have in experiences, lived experiences, professional fields, etc., in office, the more of these blind spots that we're going to cover, and the more good that these legislative bodies and policymakers can make for everybody, and it can be more inclusive of people, and we can make sure that folks' concerns are being addressed. And if you are thinking about running for office, don't count yourself out because you don't have qualification A, B, or C.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
You gotta just want it. And I always like to tell this story too, because it's an anniversary of sorts popping up on my Facebook feed that we were at Standing Rock, and AOC was inspired by Standing Rock when she went there to run.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, talk about a grassroots event. I mean, and we know that this was not necessarily done in a political way. Like, not everybody that went out there was thinking, oh, this is political and I'm going to do this. But we're thinking, this is where I need to make a stand. And we need to protect what is important. And that's not necessarily a political issue. It gets co-opted by political types and politicians, etc. But the work needs to be done, and Indian country showed out at Standing Rock. And like, I still have been to the NMAI Smithsonian, and they have Standing Rock included in one of their exhibits. And I love that they have like one of those poles that had all the pieces of wood that said, London is this far away. And I was looking at it. Yeah. And I saw one for all of our Ho-Chunk fam. There was one out there that said, however many miles to Dell's Dam. And I was so excited, that we were included and we were part of that.
Big part. We had our own area. We had our own Ho-Chunk area, and it was very fun. We a guy ran into a bunch of Ho-Chunks out there, and that's been another start of our as Native Americans really standing up. I really believe we've had a bunch over the years, whether it's been Wounded Knee, and that was really quashed by the federal government, but Standing Rock has really done a lot of things, whether it's Reservation Dogs, or shows like that or movies that came out, like Predator, and all these things that happened afterwards, along with all these people that jumped ahead. And we did the radio show, and we wanted to bring out information that was not being reported out there. We had people, boots on the ground, reporting to us every week on what was happening at Standing Rock when we first started.
Absolutely. And those actions for people that participated, whether they got to go out there, or even, I remember I wasn't able to go out there because I had a young child who was in school. But I remember, people saying things like people resisting on Facebook and putting down that they were all at Standing Rock. And those actions that everybody took moved the needle, absolutely moved the needle.
Wow, let's talk about that again. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio. We'll be right back. We're here with Arvina Martin, Emerge, Wisconsin.
The Minneapolis Police Department is hiring, and we're looking for people ready to lead, serve, and reflect the communities we protect.
Whether you're a new graduate, changing careers, or already in law enforcement, there's a path for you to join our department.
With top-tier pay, full benefits, paid training, and a direct path to making a difference, this is more than a job. This is your chance to shape the future of Minneapolis police.
Choose service. Choose leadership. Choose Minneapolis. Visit our city website to learn more.
Are you a Metro Transit rider? Join the free Riders Club and let your voice be heard. Our motto is Transit Voices United, and when you become a member, you'll participate more closely in decision-making, plus earn the opportunity for exclusive merchandise at Metro Transit events. Help improve your transit system. We value your opinion. Join at metrotransit.org/Riders Club and start being rewarded today. That's the Riders Club at metrotransit.org/Riders Club.
All My Relations Arts presents Matrilineal Memory by Hopi artist Michaela Schaefer. This powerful exhibition blends painting, poetry, and installations, inviting reflections on memory, culture, and healing. Join us for the opening reception Thursday, October 16th, 6 to 8 p.m. at All My Relations Arts on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis. Matrilineal Memory runs October 16th through December 13th. Experience the unveiling of an exhibition that speaks to the heart. Learn more at allmyrelationsarts.org.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, this segment is brought to you by bringing awareness to our U.S. wolf and bear population. Just say no to the hunt. Oh! And then
on the guard.
I do a bear too. It's like, hey,
Wow.
Boo Boo, get some picnic baskets.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Hey, I just want to, I'm here with Arvina Martin, CEO of Emerge Wisconsin. I just wanted to finish up what you were saying there, and I just back up just a second. So what happened was the police were monitoring what was happening, and the FBI were monitoring what was happening in Standing Rock, and there was a call to action for people to check in at Standing Rock. So
Yeah.
a lot of, remember that's kind of the setup of what you were talking about.
Yeah, exactly. People saying that law enforcement was using people checking in on Facebook to, go after people. And so as a kind of civil disobedience, folks that were nowhere near Standing Rock and couldn't make it out there, it was an easy thing that they could do to kind of thwart that kind of surveillance and that activity.
Yeah, there was a place called Facebook Hill or Facebook Mountain, and that's the only place in the whole area that you could get Wi-Fi, because we found out afterwards that they were jamming the Wi-Fi and we couldn't get information out there. And just talked to Dallas Goldtooth just recently, and he was my go-to person. He was out there, I think 90% of the time, and gave daily updates of what was happening. So shout out to Dallas and Goldtooth, and that gave us the okay to drive 500 miles in an RV and make sure that we could bring supplies and the place wasn't shut down and things like that. But so Arvina, we already talked a little sports, but I just want to mention this to you, is that we had the Queen of Ice was here a few days ago, and there was a big protest out there. They're coming and they're here, and we're as protesters are ready for this. How is Wisconsin in regards to these things coming, like the National Guard and whatnot? Have you heard anything?
I've not. I mean, the only kind of hubbub I've heard, it was previously when JD Vance came to Wisconsin, and I think he went to like La Crosse or Eau Claire, which for folks that aren't familiar are on the western side of the state, like fairly close to Minnesota. And he kind of said, "Oh, well, what do you think about us sending the National Guard to Milwaukee?" And everybody's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." Milwaukee's on the other side of the state as well, and they don't. The mayor of Milwaukee, Chevy Johnson, is not asking for it. The county executive, David Crowley, is not asking for it, or asking for the National Guard to come. That Milwaukee is not a lawless place. You should go visit. It's great. There's lots of amazing things to do there. And people should visit. But we have not, thank goodness, we've not heard the same. But we still have organizations that are doing work to monitor the situation and are tracking and are able to follow up if people think that they've seen ice in their towns. They're able to verify. So organizations like Voces de la Frontera do great work, and they organize as well and work with a lot of people and in civic engagement there, and especially in the Milwaukee area. And it's taking organizations like that to do the work to help make sure the public is aware of what's happening, and making sure that the public has that accurate information and knows. And we both, I know that you have heard about our own tribal members, Ho-Chunk Nation tribal members, maybe not so much recently, but at the beginning, we're being stopped in places like Toma.
Yep, absolutely. And not only that, well, I got to give our nation a shout out too, because they're going to help out with school lunches for people kindergarten through 12, and they're writing a check. So shout out to Ho-Chunk, as always, legislature and the president, and for taking care of that and reaching out, especially with the SNAP and things that are happening. And we need the food banks. Hey, shout out to Ho-Chunk. I just wanted to say that again. 100%. So again, I got to ask you this, and I don't know if I want to take my put my aluminum cap on when I say this, but I was reading that Hitler built a big building and had a bomb shelter built at the same time, and it made me think a pause with this the East Wing being built. Your thoughts?
I mean, I also don't want to get into conspiracy theories, but like, it can be hard when this administration goes to the worst possible thing all the time, and then is completely non-transparent about the process. Was there any announcement that they were going to tear down the East Wing before it happened? Like, I just remember all of a sudden seeing pictures of it being destroyed, and I was like, what is happening?
They said he was going to build. Well, of course, he lied 35,000 times when he was the first 4 years from 2016 to 2020. And he said that the East Wing was not going to be touched, and this ballroom was going to be built right next to it. And the next day, they tore down the East Wing.
Yeah. And I mean, they paved over the Rose Garden, and doing all of this, things that do not need to be done during a time when Americans are struggling.
Yes.
His focus is on that ballroom. That's
what the press secretary said. That's what she said.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, and it's not on people who are going to be going hungry, who are going to have to figure out what they're going to do. Not for people that are going to be worried about what their premiums are going to look like on their healthcare if these subsidies don't continue, and what that is going to do to so many Americans. He's not looking out for us. He wants a gold-plated ballroom.
Yeah.
And that's what he is working on.
And he wants it named after him.
Of course he does. He puts his name on, he puts his name on everything. And
Trump Steaks, I just had to
yeah.
Trump University, all these great things. And don't forget the casinos, when he said in the 80s that I don't even think these people look Indian that are running these casinos.
Yeah, about the
totally-
Mashantucket Pequots in
Right.
Connecticut. And
Thank you.
yeah, and I mean, look, the beginning days of the administration, he was talking about how to get rid of birthright citizenship and how to invalidate the Native American citizen or the American Indian Citizenship Act of 1924.
Right.
I mean,
100 years ago.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Arvina, I feel like I should have you on every day. This is like very cleansing, but also making me want to do stuff. And I hope people out there, listening, especially in Wisconsin, give the information for Emerge Wisconsin again, because if you know a relative that's thinking about it, that's a woman and a non-binary woman that feels comfortable around that, please get a hold of Arvina. I didn't say that very smoothly. You say it much better than I do.
That's okay. Yeah, send them my way, and activism and doing good for your community can very well be a part of self-care. And use that, if that motivates you, please use it and go. It doesn't have to be political work. It can be going and shopping and bringing resources to a food bank. It can be going and helping a neighbor who might need a meal.
Peeny, drop the mic. Peeny Gigi, thank you, Arvina. We'll see you next week.
Sounds good. See you then.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis Air. Air